Moon in Taurus, conjunct Uranus, but also trining over to all of this Capricorn energy. The moon is exalted in Taurus, which means that the moon is arguably at its most comfortable at its most comfortable position in Taurus, which Taurus of course rules self-worth. It rules in many ways our traditions and stuff. It rules this area of the chart where we ground a lot of our reality. It rules this place where we begin to plant seeds, being that it occurs during the springtime. And this is the time where we begin to plant springs, so by the time that the fall time comes, we get to harvest. So, with this moon coming into Taurus, it's definitely feeling very good. It's not really going to be making too many hard aspects. Even though some of these aspects are going to be harmonious, doesn't mean that there won't be a little bit of difficulty and strain here. Of course, it's going to conjunct over to Uranus, which Uranus is about planting some wild, crazy, amazing ideas out there that may go a bit against the grain, that may be a bit outside of the norm. But with the moon in Taurus, we can definitely feel more comfortable about planting these certain seeds. But the moon, of course, the big topic of discussion is this Capricorn stellium, which has been building in intensity. Venus was here, but now Venus is in Aquarius, so the moon will actually make a square over to Venus. But we do have the moon, which will trine this Capricorn energy. It will trine Jupiter. It will trine the south node. It will trine, the south node. It will trine Mercury. It will trine the Sun. It will trine Saturn. And it will trine Pluto in that order. So you can see that over the next 20, right now it's at 4 degrees or so, right? So over the next 48 hours or so, we're going to get blessing after blessing after blessing after blessing, if we are open to receiving this blessing, of course. Jupiter is going to want to expand when it comes to this Capricorn energy. And of course, how we feel, about our status, how we feel about our status and our worth, and how we feel about how we're moving forward in life, our goals and our ambitions. Jupiter is wanting to expand this area. The South Node is reminding us of past life influences on this area. What different things we might have done in the past that have kind of, convened and have averaged out to be where you currently are right now. Then, of course, you have Mercury, which is we're talking about this now. People are talking about their goals more. People are talking about their ambitions more. People are talking about business more. Then, of course, you have the Sun. People are being inspired and coming up with all kinds of new ideas and wanting to show this, is wanting to spread this sort of light and their gifts. Then you got Saturn, of course, which is all about hard work. It's about attrition. It's about putting one step in front of the other. It's the planet of karma and how things take time to develop. And then, of course, you got Pluto, death and destruction. What's interesting with this energy is that the moon begins making these trines, which are harmonious aspects. But just because it's a harmonious aspect, and trines, like I say, like to bring miracles, they are what happened after you receive the opportunity with the sextile, and then you get the squaring energy, right? You get the square energy, which is sort of like that first challenge, but then you cross over that hurdle, and you reach over to the trine. But what's interesting about this one is that it's making aspects to all of these typically more positive planets. Jupiter being a benefic. The South Node's kind of like, but the fact that Jupiter is with the South Node, is traveling with the South Node, is within a degree of each other, makes it so we can actually kind of look at that sort of energy when it comes to these past life influences and how we can actually expand upon them. Not necessarily doing the same things that we did before, but to look at them and how they have contributed to our overall development. It's kind of like looking back, it's like, I'm glad I lost that game, or I'm glad that didn't turn out that way, because if it didn't, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Say you had a relationship that just didn't work out. You can look back at it and be like, if that relationship didn't collapse, I wouldn't have found this new person. So that's kind of the nice influence, Jupiter and the South Node. And of course, you have Mercury. So we're going to be feeling like we really want to communicate about our goals, our ambitions, our direction. So in Mercury, it's typically, it doesn't necessarily lean more positive or negative. It really depends upon what's how it's being aspected. And since it's a trine, it's harmonious. Then you have the sun, which of course just wants to express itself. Just wants to express itself and be the light. But then you get to the harsh reality of Saturn. What is it going to take to actually get this thing going and moving forward? Then you get to Pluto. What is it in your life that needs to be cut away so new things can manifest? Have you planted seeds that just simply haven't grown, or maybe they haven't grown the way that you thought, but you're ready to embark on a whole new journey with these brand new ideas that you've been motivated and inspired by? But are you emotionally attached to the old things that didn't quite pan out? You gotta make some space. The other interesting thing about this is that now that Mars has officially moved into Sagittarius, the moon actually made a quincunx over to this energy. Coming off that Aries Taurus cusp, we had the moon in Taurus making a quincunx over to Mars in Sagittarius at the first degree, which is effectively the first aspect that it really made. You could say that it made the aspect as well to Chiron, but it's a bit minor. It's a semi-sextile. We are being presented with opportunities right now. And with this quincunxing energy, this is all about how we really do feel about ourselves and our self-worth, and whether or not our actions accurately display and reflect our belief in ourselves. Sagittarius is about belief. And it's about, of course, the adventure and the whole learning process and this whole expansion quality, going on the adventure. So do our actions reflect this belief in ourselves that we really truly are valuable, that we really take into consideration what it is that really is going to benefit us the most. But at the same time, with the Uranus here, right afterwards, there's this consideration of the other. It's one thing to, of course, we are in this body, right? We're not in a bunch of other different bodies, seemingly anyways, right? Of course, your consciousness is like, there's so many different realms and realities, and it's like you can be in multiple places at the same time. But we'll get into that a little bit later on another video. But Uranus comes in here and reminds us is that we can do what's best for us and still benefit the collective. So there's a reminder of that. But there's some challenge here, because we have to really ask ourselves, am I living my life according to my truth? And do I feel my true value? Do I feel true that I am a valuable member of society and I'm doing my best to uplift the vibration of society? And it doesn't have to necessarily be in a big and grand way. I think sometimes we feel like in order for us to make an impact, that we have to be on stage somewhere in front of millions of people. But that's not the case. You can make a stand right here, right now, and affect just one person. And that can really make the difference. Whether that person goes on to inspire 1 million people, or whether they go on to inspire one person or help another person. That's what truly counts. Moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus and trining all of the Capricorn energy. I will see you all very soon for when the moon goes into Gemini. We're getting so close to the full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer. It's going down. Here's 2020. Let's get it. A new decade. Peace.